Good morning, Patriot fam. I feel like Krista in the control room is like our parent that's trying to get us out the door on the way to school. Are you guys ready?
We're just like, nope, I want to. I don't want to.
We want to sit here and talk a little bit more, but we want to talk with you too. Welcome to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle, your free speech platform where we take all of the news that we have today. We kind of dilute it into good talking points that you can carry with you to the kitchen table, kind of the sugar that helps the medicine go down, if you will. Because Allie, we're sweet, contrary to what people think.
I'm like, it depends on the day.
And it depends on the person. Let's be honest. You know?
I mean, yeah, no.
We've got a lot
sometimes.
We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to give you an update on what took place in Berkeley, California, with Turning Point USA. We've got some answers of really what took place, so we want to bring that to you. One of the few times you're going to hear it reported here is about, in my opinion, unless somebody can offer a different perspective, I don't know if Trump put his foot in his mouth or what, but it didn't sit well with me. So I'm assuming that
I'm going to tell you right now, I've been in spaces the last 3 days. It don't sit well with nobody. It's almost like when he was like, oh, we're going to bring Argentinian beef to America. And all the farmers were like, the fuck you are? Like, it was like, sometimes, I mean, we love you, President Trump, but sir,
make a phone call. We can run it by a couple of ladies. We'll let you know. We'll be the litmus test for you, sir. Because and then you kind of mentioned, because I know you're comms director for a few candidates.
Yeah,
you were like, I'd hate to be that comms director right now.
Lord, like, I'm like, oh my goodness.
What did you just say?
Oh, to be comms for him, I can't.
Plus, we're going to talk about how the heavens are lighting up, and a lot of us throughout the United States are getting a great display of God's wonder, really, throughout the skies. But I don't understand it much, so maybe Allie can help explain.
I'll tell you a little bit about it.
Thank you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and open that mic.
Taking back our freedom, back to where we started. We're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, he gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor MAGA, the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' ring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
Well, I'm gonna let our X audience know X is doing some weird things right now where our feed is like frozen, saying something went wrong, try reloading. I don't know what's happening, but X has been a problem the last couple of days. I think it's like every time they change the algorithm, it takes them like 2-3 weeks to freaking catch up. It is crazy.
Yeah, X was an issue as we were planning for the show. I know we communicate a lot through X. We share a lot of information that way. So I'm glad it wasn't just me or user error. But if you're watching us from X, maybe you can shift over to another platform. Rumble is good. YouTube's good. Facebook is good. Yeah. Elon, get on it. Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted. I'm watching President Trump put cologne on people in his office. And I'm like, what in the heliante is happening in this video right now?
Oh my gosh. Well,
it says Trump gave the president of Syria a bottle of Trump cologne earlier this week when he visited the White House. The other one is for your wife. How many wives? Question mark. He said one. With you guys, I never knew. President Trump is amazing. I love that man. He like is literally taking out the bottle of Trump cologne and sprays it on the president of Syria. Like not even asking. Like he's just like
a Macy's
right.
counter.
And then did it to the guy. I guess his I don't know. Somebody's standing next to him and like sprays I'm like, oh Lord, somebody get a hold of President Trump.
He might need a chaperone. He might need somebody to walk with him.
This is why we love him so much, and why
I love him so much.
The future of the Republican Party is MAGA. It's Trump, because Trump.
It's MAGA.
Look, y'all
And if
heard
you
me
ain't
go on my
MAGA, what
tangent.
are you really? What are you? Because, yeah, exactly. Well, there's a good message from Trump. And because we are going to not pick on him, because we are going to argue with his rhetoric a little bit today, I want to start off by saying all the wonderful things that he's obviously done. But on Veterans Day yesterday, he had a wonderful video that he put out. Let's take a quick look at it.
Today, to every veteran, we say the words too often left unsaid. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much. When danger came, when duty called, when Almighty God asked, who had the will and the strength to defend the land of the free, each and every American veteran stood up and said, here I am, send me, here I am. Generation after generation, America's warriors have left behind the comforts of home and family to face violence, evil, and death so that our families could know joy, goodness, and peace. The American dream surges forward, and our magnificent destiny stands more splendid and glorious than ever before.
I love that. That's so good. Here I am.
It's like
send me.
Trump could read like a bedtime story. He should do audiobooks. Because he's got, I think he likes the way I think he likes his reading voice. I don't know.
Good.
It
He's
might
a good
work.
orator.
He is. So obviously, I hope all of our veterans had a wonderful day yesterday. Hopefully, you all thanked a veteran. I witnessed our Young Turning Point chapter here locally doing just these kids planned a sign wave on a major intersection here, and got a lot of honks and a lot of good response because it was, thanking a veteran, largely something that should not be political. So very grateful. So we will, listen, guys, we call balls and strikes on both sides of the aisle. It's one of the reasons why we're persona non grata with our own Republican Party here in the free state of Florida.
And why people are afraid that, like, if we get elected, that you're not going to play ball. No, it's not about playing ball. It's about understanding our foundation and what makes us great and what is the proper role and responsibility of the office in which we sit in and doing the right thing for the people. It's not about, like, this good old boy frat boy system.
And there's a difference, Allie, between a message resonating and starting at the grassroots level from we the people and then working its way up to our elected representatives. There's a difference between that and somebody at the top tier saying, this is the new message, regurgitate it and get it out to the people, make sure that they think it. And sometimes, well, absolutely the Democrat Party, but sometimes I feel like there are people that give ill advice within the Republican conservative movement,
1,000%.
and they try to push that message. And listen, there's certain things you're never going to sell to the American people because it's in our spirit to understand that is not America first. That is not America we know. And I don't know, Allie, we kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday. Laura Ingraham really pressed Donald Trump in an interview on how he feels regarding the H-1B visas. I'm just going to let our viewers watch it, and then we'll talk about it.
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put you.
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. Making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing. It's very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
I know exactly what he's talking about, and I wish he would have said it differently. What he is pointing out is that we have a gap between industry workers and a gap of education. So we have people that have, to his point, we have people that have been on unemployment for ages, right? For years, because there's no tech jobs. I mean, they're tech jobs, but there's no infrastructure that we've built to identify a lot of these jobs that oh my gosh, I can't remember even what they're called right now because my brain is like firing on 10 different things. But in our like, not the business wise, right? Because we have a lot of kids that have gone to college under the guise of, you need a business degree, you need a college degree, instead of going to like a tech school or, you know, AC school or something like that, of that nature. Or like building these batteries, building these things like this.
Well,
like, so there's a gap of workers that will work in these specific fields because we have not invested in education properly. And that is exactly what he's talking about. However,
and here's, yes, go ahead.
go. Because I know.
No, I'm glad you, I'm glad you kind of walked us down off that ledge a little bit, because what Trump has fought for, even in his first administration, was the understanding that we need to amp up our trade schools. That there should be a trade school attached to almost every high school, almost every community college. That needs to be the focus, right? But you cannot tout an extremely wonderful trades program in this country. I think he even called it America University or USA University, something that would be allowed online that everybody can access. You can't tout that and also tell us that we are unable to fill the need within these industries. We talked about this when we were in D.C. As some of the Democrats, no, let's face it, all the Democrats that we spoke to, congressional members, were talking about the need for these H-1B visas because you don't have anybody to do the work out in the fields. And it's going to, and I'm asking, wait a minute, you guys at the local level have been cutting the funding for 4-H programs. So how do you expect these young people to go through middle school and high school and understand how to grow food and how to raise cattle?
That is, right? You know why that is? It's because
big ag.
It's right. And we have a misapplication of funding.
Yes.
Because we have bloated government, which is what Florida Doge is finding out. When you have a county commission that is spending, or a county that is spending $30 billion on things that don't make sense, but they're still there, and it's just administrative. They're not putting that money back into infrastructure, which is their main goal. See, this is the problem with people that you elect that don't understand proper roles and responsibilities of the office in which they're trying to sit. But I understand what President Trump is saying here. We don't have enough people that have been through trade school long enough in order for them to function in some of these businesses that are coming over here from overseas, because we don't have it. If we had it and we've been building it here in America for the last 20 years, this wouldn't be a problem. But because we have not invested, we are going to have to lean on some of these H-1B visas. And it may not be for a while, and it may not be, you know, a permanent thing, and it may be reduced, right, from where it is now, but it is something that is needed. So I understand what he's saying. It's the way he said it.
He needs to make the argument then that we have a workforce issue in our country.
Yes.
And not.
Can I be comms for President Trump, please? Like,
but Allie,
can I be a surrogate? Because this does not compute to moms the right way.
Here's why this bothers me so much, okay? Because let's just be honest, okay? For every Republican watching this, for every conservative America First MAGA patriot watching this, we see the handwriting on the wall as we gear up to 2026 here in Florida for our governor election and 2028 for the presidential election. You're already starting to see people within our movement kind of fracture off for who's going to get those positions and who's going to be the front runner on these tickets. And we sat through press conference after press conference with Governor Ron DeSantis as he pulled H-1B visas from our college institutions and said, you know what, assistant coach for soccer, that can be filled by somebody who lives and works here.
The simple things.
When this is Trump's messaging, it doesn't line up with the stance, in my opinion, that Governor Ron DeSantis is taking here in the state of Florida. So as you see them pull forward into 2028, this is going to be a talking point, because whoever Trump gets behind in 2028 is going to have to make sure they get this messaging down so that, because we already know what Ron DeSantis' messaging is. We already know. He's come out strong and said that.
Well, and it's only and honestly, it may not work in every state. So that's the issue. Repealing H-1B visas in every state might be a problem because we don't have the infrastructure to fill a lot of these positions. So it may work
Yeah.
in Florida if you get rid of all of them in Florida. Yeah, sure, it may work.
Well,
But
and he only did it in higher education.
But that's what I'm
So
saying.
it may
But
be
he's not going
industry
to say
based
that.
too. It may be
DeSantis
industry
is not
based.
going to say that. He's going to
Yeah.
say that he's done it for all of Florida, and nobody is going to
Yeah.
look. And we've seen that with other things that he has done and said. So people are just going to take what he says at face value, and they're not going to dig deep enough to find the truth.
Right.
Right. And so it's up to us. And that's the reason why you and I are really pushed out. We get the stiff arm, the Heisman, because they're like, well, wait a minute. And we're like, wait, but we have the truth and we have the receipts.
Yes.
And then they're like,
if anybody's listening from I mean, this is just free advice, from two comms directors, free to you, whoever's watching, make this industry specific.
but
Make
this
this
is
industry
this is the
specific.
question, Miha. I was going to say Miha. This is the question.
Miha, go ahead, Miha.
This is the question. If we are disbanding the federal Department of Education,
Mhm.
where is the funding going, and how can we put that funding into our states to build better trades?
I'm going to tell you right now.
I get the whole
gonna tell you right
voucher
now.
system, but the voucher system, we've seen like huge loopholes that are causing
And
national
misuse
security
of it.
issues.
Absolutely. And Allie, I will say, I'm glad you hit this, because this is something that even in my own personal campaign, I'm coming out with the platform on, because we have to be ready to embrace on a large scale dual enrollment. We have to be ready to engage in a large scale trades and agriculture in our schools again. We have to, it's like there's some things that we're going backwards in time because it worked. And as we bring in things like AI, to some degree, we've got to be careful that we're not stiff arming those things that we need people in this country to be able to do. Manufacturing.
Right.
This was the reason why our country could instantly go from sort of an industrial revolution to wartime like that. Like that. Somebody pushed a switch and the entire manufacturing industry in this country went wartime.
Yep.
Are we
But
able
we're
to
not
do that
doing
right
that
now?
anymore. We've been way too comfortable, and we've allowed philanthropists that don't know anything about education feed education to children that makes them more frustrated, and they can't learn anything. So they really can't read at the 4th grade level, literally. Yeah. Which is why they're having AI take over simple jobs at McDonald's.
And you have to remember, as the CEO of this country, as the commander in chief, Donald Trump is negotiating not only tariffs and trade deals, he's also negotiating bringing industrial companies back to this country. But if I'm a company from Japan and I'm ready to negotiate and go to the table with President Trump because I want to be an ally to the United States, and I say, you know what, I'm spending billions of dollars to put this company in Pennsylvania. And then you look and you're like,
we don't have anybody
where's
to
the
fill the
workforce
position.
going to come from?
Right.
You can't then tell Japan, well, we're not doing any H-1B visas. Screw yourself as far as where your workforce is coming from. And he didn't convey that very well.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is why the messaging is so important. And I don't know who is listening. I know we got people that listen to this that are secret squirrel spies.
Just call.
Yeah, just let me know, because somebody needs to change the way this messaging goes out, because this
And they need to do damage control today.
Yeah. Well, I think
Susie Wiles today.
Yeah. Well, she's being interviewed by the Mom View, so hopefully they're not going to talk about this. But
well, if you were there, they would. Just going to say. All right. Let's praise what Donald Trump does, though, a little bit more. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. We've got congressional members that do this as well, but take a look at this hefty check. This is Donald J. Trump saying, the press doesn't write about it, but he takes his presidential salary, the yearly salary of $400,000, and he donates it to different agencies. This one going to the Department of Homeland Security. Obviously, they've taken a hit in a lot of ways, and probably even with the government shutdown. So interesting that,
good job.
Unlike the people like Biden and Pelosi and Schumer, who come to public service and end up leaving multi-billionaires, Donald Trump is actually putting up his money.
I'm about to light this, and I'm about to throw it. You ready?
Yep.
All right. So did y'all know that a president, first of all, did you know that was the president's salary, $400,000 a year? Did you know that? Did everybody know that? Did you know that when they are no longer president, they still receive that same amount? Did you also know that a veteran who has done 20 years plus only gets 50% of their base pay? That's half their base pay. Not the whole base pay, half the base pay. And they are the ones that the president sends to war. Tell me how that's fair. When you have military members and families that are on SNAP because they can't afford to feed their families, that have to rub pennies together and go to Goodwill to buy their kids toys. Ask me how I know. Because they don't have money for Christmas.
Yeah.
But our presidents, ex and still serving, receive 6 figures. But our people that go on the front lines who are missing arms and legs and have mental issues because of shit they've seen and done by the suits that are sitting in Congress only get half of their base pay. Somebody needs to have this conversation. This is
Allie,
I don't think so.
I don't think largely, unless they have a personal family member that they know that has this story, I don't think largely most of the American people understand that or know that. And certainly mainstream media is not talking about it. During the government shutdown, there was more discussion about illegal immigrant healthcare, which I understand talking about that, but nobody's talking about the ways that we should step up and be able to take care of our own people. And Allie,
the shit I've seen as a veteran,
they also have have full security for them and their family. And I'm talking
for life.
Trump just recently pulled Fauci's security detail. I was like, how the hell are you, Frankenstein, killing your own people in this country with a virus you concocted in Wuhan, China at the expense of taxpayers, but yet we're still paying for your security? You couldn't secure our loved ones that died from your virus? It's frustrating, to say the least.
Girl. But we got veterans that are sitting in Congress talking about they care about our veterans. How? Show me how.
Allie, it sounds like as we move into 2026, as much as we want to fix our immigration system and so many other things, this is something else that needs to be talked about. And again, I caution our audience, who do you hear in mainstream media that talks about this topic? No one. And it affects our men and women who serve. We just came off of
You know where
Veterans
it
Day.
is being talked at? You know where it is being talked about? It's being talked about on Open Mic. It's being talked about on CCN. It's being talked about in spaces with friends of ours that are actual independent journalists who bring in like Ed Eagle Martin. Literally, my friends had Ed Martin in the space yesterday, and we literally heard from his mouth about what is going on with these pardons and legal issues that are happening in America.
He's the head of the pardon department. And they didn't want him largely involved in the DOJ, but Trump made a way anyway. Well, guys, we're going to pivot to bringing you some updates. No, I'm so glad you did that, Allie. We're going to pivot to talking about some updates with Turning Point that took place in Berkeley. Take a look at this guy. This is the guy that you saw him pinned on the ground yesterday in our video, but he says he was just there professing Christ is king. He had a sign. Somebody ran up, pulled the cross necklace off his face. They got into a bit of an altercation. He wanted to go back, and he was getting his necklace back, his property back. He said he was punched roughly 15 times in the face. He never threw a punch himself. And guys, this isn't me just, finding the story of my choice and putting it on the screen. I want you guys to take a look at one of the only places that I've been able to find the video, an aerial view, because we're on camera pretty much everywhere we go. There is one camera angle that shows what took place. I want you guys to take a look at this. You're only going to see it here on Open Mic. You can see him there in the red shirt as he comes over.
Oh my God.
I know. Takes his necklace and he takes off running. And he just wants his necklace back. We're going to be careful how much of this we show.
And they're running after him. The dude in the... That is insane. Oh, that is insane.
It is insane. And I want you to see this. The good news is the Department of Justice has formally notified UC Berkeley that they're launching a full investigation into the university after the university failed to protect conservatives attending this Turning Point USA event last night. Listen, this is going to be a whole new arm of accountability for our universities because not only,
Maybe because Antifa has been labeled a terrorist organization. Where the hell are the arrests?
Well, and
We had somebody that literally federally, that's a federal, like it's illegal to place bombs anywhere. There's been no statement by our DOJ, none, or the FBI director, and this was supposed to be the thing that they
primary
wanted to go
concern.
after.
Yes,
right. Where is Pam Bondi and where is Kash Patel and where is Dan Bongino? Where are y'all? What are we doing?
Got two of those numbers in the phone here. Oh no! Oh my gosh! I almost thought I was getting a text.
Allie, and I'm not angry. I'm asking the question. Like, if you really do want to win in 26, you have to make people excited to come out to vote. And we are not excited with what we're seeing right now. We gave a mandate. And so far, we have not seen anything. There's been a bunch of reveals. That's great. We already knew that.
There's
confirming what we knew. But where are the arrests?
There have been those that they've come out to try to hold accountable. You look at somebody like James Comey, that's being slow walked, I think, right now. I heard recently, cannot confirm this, that he's working on some kind of a what do you call it? Plea deal. We'll see if that's happening in exchange for singing like a canary. We'll see if that's happening. But this is something, and again, this is not on our agenda to talk about, but you've even got Erica Kirk coming out and talking profoundly, saying, you better, in the state of Utah with your Republican governor, you better make sure, Republican Attorney General, you better make sure that this trial for his killer, for Charlie Kirk's killer, is public. Yes. They do not want this gag order. They do not want this closed door session. And when you have the widow of somebody who's been politically assassinated saying,
the old guard of the Republican Party better, y'all need to get it together.
Yep.
Get it together, because we will sit out.
Well, and here's the thing.
Apathy is bad now. It's literally less than 12% of Republicans are coming out to vote. Ask yourself why.
And Allie, the key here is that either you overpromise and you underdeliver, or you promise adequately and you deliver. And largely, I don't think anything was overpromised. I think it was just the basics. Now, what you have to understand, our viewers I know understand, I hope they understand, Allie and I understand, is that there are people that are put in place to grind the wheels of government to a halt. Yep. Even on our side, even within our own party and even within our own platform. So handlers, if you will. And I understand that Kash and Bongino are probably largely facing that in the FBI. Pam Bondi's probably facing it in the DOJ. I'm sure Trump is facing it within the White House. All factions of government are probably facing that. But when you step in leadership, the buck stops with you. And, I just... FBI should be having daily press conferences. Daily.
Listen,
we should be getting daily updates.
I have to go through the space we were listening to yesterday because we had a prior FBI agent in the space discussing that he was actually watching this person that has been confirmed by Steve Baker that is the person that planted these bombs. And I was so baffled listening to it. And I'm like, oh my God, why has nothing, I was just like, wow, okay, this is crazy. This is craziness. And there is a way for you to come out and say, look, we made a mistake, or we did it this way, or we apologize, or like there's a way to properly Olivia Pope it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, and they have to understand that the rate of speed that this information is coming out and being discussed, you can't put rails on that. That's what social media has done.
January 13th. They knew who she was. January 13th. We are 9 months in. 9 months in. If we do not see anything that is going to energize the base, we are going to lose the midterms. And if we lose the midterms, President Trump will be impeached. He'll be impeached because the Democrats will win and he will be tied up in all of these legal things and nothing will get done the last 3 years of his term.
But Allie, that's largely what the elite Republicans that are
I
still,
know.
they're still trickling in there. They don't care because they know the Democrats will look out for their cronyism. Trump and MAGA, America First, will not. And this is why we say sometimes they're two teams cut from the same cloth sometimes. And I have to tell you that as much, and I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But I think some of this is done to purposely increase the apathy, because what we've seen locally with our own party, in our own wonderful state and counties that we live in, they would prefer to see an apathetic base in the Republican Party so that they can control what part they can control. If you're getting a little too ahead of yourself, a little too over your skis, a little too ignited, a little too, oh, you think you're we the people, let me give you a little bit of defeatism to put you back in your place. And we're not, I'm here to tell our viewers and anybody out there who wants to deliver that message, we ain't doing that. I don't care if it's a Kash Patel that we have to talk to. I don't care if it's memos to Pam Bondi. I don't care if it's a nice email softly worded to the President of the United States. We're not doing this. Going back is not an option unless you're going to reignite the 1776 fire that was in the belly of this nation. That's the only time we're going back to. It's not business as usual. And I think, Allie, I told you, I'm seeing this with our young people in Turning Point. They get it. It's black and white to them. It's black and white. And they're looking to us, to our generation, who are elected in leadership, to get it freaking together. I have to show you this real quick before we go to commercial break. Take a look at this. They call him.
Episode today, y'all. Share this out.
Apparently, his first name is Jihad, so his parents didn't give him much of a chance. But this is the Muslim far left extremist who severely beat that gentleman that was in the red shirt. He robbed him of his cross around his neck and then severely beat him. But it doesn't stop there. Let's forward to. I want to make sure we touch on this story, because literally the Democrat Party is fracturing because Schumer and them basically lost, with so many Democrats coming over to vote to open the government or to want to open the government. Jesse Waters had this story on the other night, and I want to show it to our viewers, just a portion of it. He's calling it the Brooklyn Bolsheviks. Just take a listen. I can't.
Viewer warning, you're about to hear some foul language.
Let's start tonight's show with the big news out of Washington on the shutdown. By the way, tonight's show will be brought to you by I can't believe it. I can't believe it. They caved on the shutdown.
8 Senate Democrats voted with Republicans to reopen the government, and the base is out for blood. Liberals are driving across state lines, hunting down the traitors.
My way into Keynes. Hi. I spent about a couple hours trying to call this morning, and y'all didn't pick up. So then I drove an hour and a half to be here. Just put us through 5 weeks of suffering to just say, okay, that's fine. It was the most cowardly and weak move ever. He's a traitor, and people will.
That's him talking. That's her.
Go ahead. No, go.
No, that's her talking to Representative Tim Kaine's office there. So now, go ahead, Allie.
One, I need all our viewers to thank the 8 Democrats that defected.
Yeah.
Thank you for standing on principle and not starving the American people. Thank you.
John Fetterman.
We appreciate that.
Mhm.
We do. Now, what I'm going to tell our viewers to tell their Democrat friends, which I think they know already, the liberal insanity is mad that people did not suffer more. The people that they say they care about, the disenfranchised, the workers, the ones that don't have health care, the ones that don't have food, they literally spent weeks saying that it was the Republicans that couldn't feed everybody. Nobody's getting paid. Nobody's getting health insurance. Everyone is going to do this. Everyone's going to do that. And it's all the Republicans' fault. So the 8 Democrats were like, all right, cool. Fine. We'll get to the other side and open the government. Now that the government is open and people are no longer going to suffer and they're going to get their paycheck and we're going to get back to national security procedures and border security procedures, now everybody's mad? That's communism. Are you paying attention?
When you
Stop voting these people in.
When you have somebody who has, or a party or a group of people who have their finger on the button of whether it's medical, education, military, food assistance, but on the button of the flow that runs through to you and I, that is communism. That is socialism. It's here.
Yes.
And it's terrifying because so many people are reliant upon it. So how do you literally bite the hand that's feeding you? But you better bite the hand that's feeding you, and you better find your American ingenuity. And that's what I love about Laura Ingraham, what she was saying. And I don't largely love Laura Ingraham, but what she was saying to President Donald Trump is, listen, you want to help the middle class America with wage increases? Do it authentically. Let them go to work and have this ingenuity that sparked us during the Industrial Revolution. We did it.
We got to change culture, though, because culture right now is victimhood because the Democrats.
Yes.
That's the culture
Apathetic.
right now. The culture, right? And then so just to remind everybody else, it's also the elites, the people that will never go hungry because they have enough money. They've never been without food. They know what it's like to just snap their fingers and there's a plate of food at any moment. These are the same people, including the women on The View. These are the same people that wanted to make poor people less without food.
Yep, absolutely.
It's insane.
Guys, we've got so much coming up in the next half hour of our show. If you thought it was fire in the first half, don't go anywhere. Plus, Allie's going to explain to me why the heavens are looking so beautiful, because I don't largely get it. So we'll be right back with more Open Mic after this.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com, because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OpenMic for 10% off your order.
Gold IRA companies are a dime a dozen, especially in conservative media. We vetted out 34 companies and chose Augusta Precious Metals.
With the lowest across-the-board spreads in the gold IRA industry, Augusta saves Americans thousands of dollars.
They are the only major gold IRA company that has zero complaints from their customers. Zero. None.
Augusta Precious Metals does not have commissioned sales reps, which means their goals are aligned with yours.
They were the only gold IRA company that demonstrated integrity and transparency without using gimmicks.
The informative one-on-one web conferences by Augusta Precious Metals answer all of their customers' questions before they make a move.
If you're ready to learn about protecting your wealth and retirement with gold and silver, request your free gold guide from Augusta Precious Metals today.
Visit patriot.tv/gold. That's patriot.tv/gold today.
Welcome back to Open. We send text messages.
Oh my God, I know, right? I want to check in with our producer, make sure she's all right, because I know sometimes when we go off the rails like this, she's back there cracking up. So make sure she's good.
It's free entertainment for everyone, even in the studio. They're like, okay, I know who I'm not going to ask questions to today because she's lit.
Text us, Krista. Let us know you're okay.
Thank you guys for, she said she's good. Thank you guys for tuning in to Open Mic Ladies. Please make sure you're following at Real Allie Leger, at Michelle Posey, and at Open Mic Ladies on all platforms. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you to our Spotify listeners. Let's pivot, because it's not really an episode of Open Mic if we don't talk about the wonderful America's General Michael Flynn, and the post he made largely about Tulsi Gabbard. This is what sparks the heat and the debate within our spirit, really, when you sense that something's wrong. Tulsi Gabbard has put her neck on the line to really do what she was placed in office to do, and that is to expose all this corruption that's been going on. General Michael Flynn has been her largest cheerleader because it was his life that they took down or attempted to because of it. So you can imagine, between him and Tulsi Gabbard and the American people sitting here going, all right, clock is ticking. Why aren't we seeing perp walks? Take a listen to Tulsi Gabbard. Again, explain it to us what she discovered. Listen.
We look at where we are now. Over the last several weeks, we've declassified and released documents that exposed how President Obama and leaders in the intelligence community knowingly manufactured a false intelligence document after the 2016 election was done, after the American people said, no, we want Donald Trump to go and be our commander-in-chief, not Hillary Clinton. And this manufactured document alleged that Russia aspired to help President Trump win the election with the aim of undermining his presidency and usurping the will and the voices of the American people who sent Trump to the White House.
And again, then that same, the Biden administration 4 years later spied on our congressional members in Arctic frost. And we don't really have any. I mean, listen, if I'm Kash Patel, I'm like.
No one's been indicted. We had over 700 J6ers arrested in 2021. We knew that they know it's a Fedsurrect. Some died. Some killed themselves.
Because if you're a patriot, and you're there hoping that our congressional members do the right thing as they certify the election. If you believe our Vice President Mike Pence was going to do the right thing in asking questions, so you're there, and then you get thrown in a gulag, and they tell you they're going to hit you with charges of domestic terrorism. That's like the end of your personal life when you're a former military person, a veteran, or you're somebody who bleeds for this country. Those people largely a few of them could not handle that and took matters into their own hands and killed themselves off of a fake manufactured, you know what?
Look, I mean, this has been an argument that we've had in Spaces. This is a topic that is really heavy and we keep bringing up. And we keep getting silenced about it. And there were a lot of military, 150 military veterans. They're like, really, were arrested.
But the person who was identified as a capital officer planting a pipe bomb.
Yep. And was on the steps shooting into the crowd.
And nothing's happening to her.
Baker. Read. You need to go find Steve Baker's story and actually read it. It is mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing. And the fact that nobody has come out to say it's not true.
Sorry,
no one has come out to say that it is true. No one has come out to say that anything has happened. Like, first of all, you have to understand this is a big syndicate. Yes. They have legal counsel that goes through through their documents before they submit to a story, and it gets written off by like 2 or 3 editors before it goes to print, before the story comes out. This is legitimate.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, Allie, and Flynn is not stopping there. Listen, fight like a Flynn is his pack for a reason. The whole family's like this, but listen to General Flynn as he's talking to Benny Johnson, and I think you're going to hear a lot of the same frustration permeated through him. Take a listen.
My shot to James Comey is, James, do the right thing and help save this country, right? If you did something to undermine this country, which it appears that you did, and there's an abundance of evidence, don't try to wait it out because there's some subversives inside of the Department of Justice in the various districts that are going to help you out there, buddy. Do the right thing for the future of America. You will then be remembered as somebody who actually did the right thing at the right moment in history, and you took the higher moral high ground to do the right thing and to say the right thing. You know what, Jim? That's what you need to do instead of, allowing your ego and your arrogance to drive you down into the bowels of hell, because that's where you're going to end up.
And your parting message to Peter
and
Strzok,
of course, there he's talking about James Comey. He's the one that's made fun of 8647, which is basically calling for the assassination of our duly elected president of the United States. But also he was the FBI director under Obama, and he's the one that's kind of been at the helm of this.
So this is the issue. The issue is that there is evidence that both the CIA and the FBI were complicit in what happened in our government on January 6th.
Amen.
And prior to that, with the whole putting Trump up for, Russia collusion and all that. And when that is, because it's confirmed, but no one, it's like the bigger the story goes, and if they start to arrest people for that, they're going to end up having to completely dismantle the FBI. and the CIA. Because it's a culture. This is what they do. They've always done this.
And the last person who tried to take this on was assassinated. JFK.
Yep. But you are what you've always done. Your patterns show your character. And this is what the FBI and the CIA have always done since their inception.
We better pray that those strongholds of corruption come tumbling down over our U.S. government. I mean, it's going to take it's going to have to take the hand of God moving, as we've seen him do already in this country, coupled with people who are not out here to make a name for yourself, or not out here for accolades at your own cost, but to just be out here to say, as Charlie Kirk said, "Here I am, Lord, send me." That you couple that with the hand of God, and I think we can see it toppled. But I want to forward, Krista, just for the sake of time, if we could go to the story about women needing to be safe in women's spaces. I want to buckle up, guys. Okay, did you know that companies like Planet Fitness do not have any kind of rules in there? And if you read the contract when you sign up for a gym membership, that would forbid biological males from coming into biological female spaces. And you don't believe me? This is a story that's in California, talking to Senator Weiner from California. Sorry, my inner 4-year-old came out. Talking to this woman who's in his district. She identifies she says she's a lesbian female, African American lesbian female. So she's checking the boxes and say, I matter too, apparently. But this is gonna resonate with you guys at home, her message. Take a listen.
Senator Weiner, as the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question, because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay. As a lesbian woman who was attacked in a woman's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah, so we want, everyone to be safe.
Gaslighting.
And we also know that, we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women.
Bring it back. Bring it back, Krista.
Hang on. Wait. What he does in this video is he makes women a subcategory. He said trans women and women and cis women are attacked in this country. So he made women, biological women, a subcategory to men who put on women face. She got up I need everybody to go actually watch this video, because she got up and she was like, y'all not gonna silence me. Ladies, don't let them use your blackness. Don't let them use your ethnicity. Don't let them use your voice against your interests. You are a woman. Amen. And this man has a documented history. He literally broke his wife's jaw in 3 different places. And you want me to share a bathroom with him? Are you insane?
And you better be very careful, because even the legislation passed here in the free state of Florida, the Safe Spaces Act, only pertained to government spaces and schools. That means other businesses, your woke businesses throughout all of Florida, this was in California, have to be in California, can just say women, identify as a woman, and you can use the women's locker room. That's why places like Planet Fitness and Gold's Gym haven't had to align their protocol with state law, because state law didn't really go far enough. And I need for people to understand this is actually where this has to be taken on. It has to be. How do we have complete and total control of the House, Senate, and governorship here in the state of Florida, and we still couldn't correct this in the state of Florida?
I can tell you why. Because they sit there and they like to play nice so that they can be reelected and they can get favor from whoever is in leadership. And they sit there and pretend like their hands are tied, but they're not. They're sitting on their hands. Stand up.
I was told it would be too difficult to make that big of a leap in our first attempt at this legislation. So how many people's lives did you put in jeopardy over? Then put them on the record to vote.
But wait. So it's too difficult to have women's safety spaces, but yet it is absolutely damn near impossible to get a restraining order against someone who has literally violated your personal space. But unless you're a sitting elected representative. And
ask me how I know.
Look.
Ask Allie how she knows. Frustrating. We're not here to just piss you off today, guys. We're here to stir that little bit of righteous anger within you that says, that's right, we got some stuff to do. Lace up the boots. Lace up the boots. It was not just for veterans yesterday. Go do something. Absolutely.
Like President
like President Trump is doing, because we showed you yesterday on the show, was it yesterday or the day before, how the BBC largely cut out 52 minutes of Trump's speech at the Capitol when he's talking to people on January 6th, saying, we're going to walk down and encourage our representatives to look at the numbers here and hold off on the certification of the election. They cut it out to make it seem like he had said something else, and he is suing the BBC. Take a listen.
Are you going ahead and suing the BBC?
Well, I guess I have to. Why not? Because they defrauded the public, and they've admitted it. And their top echelon,
Director General and the CEO,
this
both
is
resigned.
Within one of our great allies. This is supposedly our great ally, BBC. The government has a chunk of that one, I guess. But that's a pretty sad event. They actually changed my January 6th speech, which was a beautiful speech, which was a very calming speech, and they made it sound radical. And they actually changed it. What they did was rather incredible. They're showing me the results later on, the results of what they did, how they butchered it up. But it was very dishonest, and the head man quit, and a lot of the other people quit.
Yeah, so he is suing the BBC. We'll keep you posted here. I know Joe Rogan even had some comments about this. This was nothing new to people that are following this, but this is why it's important where you get your news from. I do want to forward, just for the sake of time, Allie, can we talk about just the majesticness, I guess, if that's even a term? There is this severe geomagnetic storm that has been happening. I want to show you this map real quick. This was, I think, yesterday, kind of showing the belt there of like where if you are in the country and where you might have been able to see it. It was last night, and I guess they're saying tomorrow night, which would be tonight.
Yeah.
But Allie, you were saying that even some people in Florida, like in the Panhandle,
there are videos and pictures that are up on X and online everywhere of people sharing their videos and pictures of seeing this, as far as South Florida.
Really?
I mean,
Let's
it
show some
wasn't
of the
as
pictures,
beautiful as most of the country, but I mean, the sky was like bright pink or bright green, or you could see like a plethora of different colors, like the rainbow. So essentially what this comes from is a coronal mass ejections, which is a massive cloud of plasma and magnetic fields that are hurled from space at high speeds, often over 1 million miles per hour. And if directed towards Earth, they can reach the planet in 15 hours to several days and trigger a storm. So essentially this will affect all things that require, electricity or electromagnetic fields to essentially function. So if you're having some computer issues or you're having some issues, like, just know that that's from a storm that occurred on the sun that shot out plasma, and it's directed.
So are we actually seeing, because some of the posts are saying or referencing like almost like the Northern Lights?
Yes, that's what it is.
Okay, so it's just we're being able to see that probably for the first time since in my lifetime.
Because of how big the storm is. It's I think it's like a G5.
So I know you said you saw this yesterday. What time, so if we're talking as far south as Florida, what's the best time to usually see this?
So far, I've seen people as like maybe around 7:30, 8:30.
Okay.
I've seen like photos as far as late as about 8:39. So
and look up at the sky.
Look outside. You put your phone down and go outside and look at the sky.
No, because I'm out there trying to get a good picture of it.
Well, I know, but like, if you know what I'm saying, like, get off your ass and out in front of your TV and go outside and look at the sky. It's pretty.
When I see pictures like that, it's really, and I know, our galaxy is so much larger than we like to think we're the center of a lot of things. And, what I do today really matters. But honestly, we're just a little flea in the galaxy, but when you see something like that, Allie, how do you deny
And then
that
you
there isn't a
can't.
creator?
You can't, and it's so beautiful. And then there's like you can see like captured images in some of them, which is really cool. I have a couple I've saved. I don't know if I sent them to you, but they're really awesome.
I've even seen, we had I don't know if you all know who Louis Giglio is, but he's got a church somewhere in the Bible Belt here. But he had done I guess, sort of a video preaching on our galaxy and zooming out to see even the Milky Way and other things in our galaxy and how they replicate. One of them almost looks like a womb. With a fetus in it. Others look like they're almost in the shape of a cross. Like the
It's so
galaxy
cool.
largely screams God and
It
creation.
does. I mean, it's amazing to see. It really is. But yeah, I mean, just know that your communications will be affected. Satellites, things of that nature.
Yes. Great. Is that why X is having such an issue?
Systems. Yeah.
Hey, wait a second, Allie. Would this be affecting? Okay, because I have heard from people that I've known all across the country that are experiencing symptoms like headaches, migraines. Does this really?
Mm-hmm.
We need to get Nurse Laura. We got to talk to you. We got to talk to some of our medical people. I'm interested to see what this does to I don't know.
Because it's an increase in plasma, and plasma has radiation and all these things in it. So
Or a tiredness, or you know what I mean?
Well, everything in the universe affects us, right? Because I mean, it's all here, and it's all created by God, and we're made of it. So of course, it's going to affect us.
Interesting. Well, you heard it first here on Open Mic. Well, get out there, put your phones down, take a look.
Talk to you like a Marine. Look, just drink some water and take this ibuprofen and change your socks.
Rub some salt in it. Rub some dirt in it. You'll be good. No, how we parented our children. Let's go to the beach. Go swim it off.
That part.
You can't really do that anymore because sometimes our beaches are full of garbage too. But guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Open Mic. If you like the fire, make sure that you follow us on social media at Real Allie Leger, at Michelle Posey, and at Open Mic Ladies. Do you have a story you want to?
Y'all share this out.
Share this out. If you want to send us a message, and obviously not through direct messaging, maybe through email, that might be an easier way. Contact at openmicladies.com. Visit openmicladies.com. We will be having, hopefully in the new year, some swag coming your way. So, but thank you so much, Allie. It's great to see you. I'll be seeing you in person later today.
Yep. All right,
y'all.
Thank
you guys so much.
See you guys later. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Keep that mic open.
What do you do when the gas is high?